All right.
Hello.
Hey. Trying to say hi to Wolfman.
Huh.
That's what I'm doing. I'm saying hello to everybody.
Oh, say hello to Wolfman.
I'm trying to type hi to Wolfman, and all of a sudden it was all.
Well,
Hello, everybody.
it's our Christmas episode.
And I am ready for this topic and this wild and woolly adventure.
Well, let me do the intro real fast and we'll do it.
I'm a cat. They can eat me.
Every time.
Sorry.
Hello, welcome to You Can't Sit With Us. I'm Hex's Damon. That is y'all. Damon. That's what you get.
No, I've said stop multiple times.
That is Mother de la Mort right there. And we are covering, what was it? Soup is on. The Donner
Soup is on.
Soup is on the
Donner Road Snack
special.
All right. So as usual, we don't really get to the comments very often. So we'll get to the comments at the beginning here and then
say hi to everybody. And then we'll
unless you pay
say
us.
hi to everybody. Unless you pay us.
Mm-hmm.
Kisa, pay us.
Hi, Kisa.
Stephen P. Kitty Cat. You have to pay us.
We know. Hey, look, he lives in a mansion. We know Moneybags has got some money.
We know. Yep.
Well, right. He has a monocle and a top hat.
What is that? Martha's Vineyard. That's where Stephen P. Kitty Cat lives. That's where he does all his video editing and everything.
Yep.
I'm in 2 plays tonight. LOL.
Yay.
My phone. Nice. All right. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hello, Chris. And where's Wolfman? Wolfman. Hello.
Right there.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So I'm a cat tonight, so that there's no cannibalism because I'm a cat. Can't eat me.
I'm a cat.
And I'm warm, so I don't freeze to death. And someone make me road snacks.
I'm wearing a Clockwork Orange.
Human jerky.
Is it Clockwork Orange?
No. Nope, it's lower class.
Lower class brats. I forgot. I kept thinking I was wearing a Clockwork Orange shirt all day today, but
it's him all like.
Yeah, but they are. What are they? They're like a band, Droogie.
They're a punk band that is Clockwork Orange themed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they have songs like Psycho where they go, "Come on, Droogies, here we go."
Do they have one called Willy Willy Well?
Welly Welly Well.
You know, surprisingly,
Welly Welly Well.
I don't think any of the Clockwork Orange style bands do. Not even the Addicts.
The Addicts have their own thing.
Yeah, but
and they're amazing.
To pay homage to Malcolm McDowell.
Do you think
and his McDowell
in their shows they don't say Welly Welly Well, my droogs?
It'd be even better if it was on the album. They'd get more points from me if they did.
I don't need more points.
I know they don't. I love the Addicts. They're fun.
I love Monkey. He's amazing. And he's so quiet.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 more hellos.
Hello.
Here we go. Well, one more hello. I'm on the Purple Channel. Loving the Fargo hat. Odd Mama. Hi, Mark. 2 cannibals were eating a clown. One says to the other, "Hey, does this taste funny?" 5-year-old turned around at a restaurant and asked my grandparents if they wanted to hear a joke, and that was the joke he told them. He walked up to my grandparents and said, "I got a joke to tell you." And they're like, "Oh, sweetie, okay." And he's all, "2 cannibals are eating a clown. One looked up at the other and said, 'Does this taste funny to you?'" And my grandparents are all.
You know, it'd be even more funny if the kid would turn around. He's like, "I got a joke for you," and your grandfather was like, "Oh, what is it?" And he just says, "This little girl and this clown were walking into the dark woods."
And that's how we get pulled off of every platform.
Every platform, all at one time.
He just asked her.
We've been Alex Jones.
He's like, "Hey, what's the difference between a pile of dead bodies and a Ferrari?"
Would you stop?
Out of a 5-year-old kid's mouth.
Stop.
And your grandfather's like, "I don't know."
I did not mean to pull this up, but that is great. Christmas time. What is the most festive herb? Christmas time.
I think it's Christmas pot.
Well, I
don't know. Christmas time may be really good on people jerky.
People jerky.
People jerky.
Segway.
Good soup. Good soup.
Stone soup, good stuff.
We just gotta get Adam Driver to do that for. He's got to be in a Donner Party movie. He has to, and has to do that line. Good soup.
I'm still going with stone soup, good stuff.
Yeah, but when it gets like the soup gets really low, you know, right before they actually get into the cannibalism, then it would have to be no soup for you.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
Just coming into the tent, and you just see the line. They're just moving by, just like in Seinfeld, and it's just they have their own Kramer character, and he's fine with the soup Nazi. And everyone, then they get the George Costanza. No soup for you.
All right. Do you want me to go with the gather round?
Yeah.
Do we want to do that one first?
We might as well do that.
All right. Gather around, folks, and listen up, because this is the tale of the Donner Party, a group of pioneers who thought they could make it to California in style.
They actually did.
But boy, were they wrong.
They famously made it to California. I'll tell you that right now.
There's a difference between style and
fame.
Fame.
You could be famous for anything.
Synonymous.
Famous for being famous these days.
Yeah. You could be famous for eating someone else's brains, which is what happened here.
Brains.
Well, hey, look. So we had a short conversation, me and Mark, earlier today. Like this still, or maybe not today, but with back in the 90s, I know for sure, because we used to do it during the 90s, rolled over into like the restaurant. I mean, how many out there weren't either tempted or actually did it when they were asking like for reservations for a restaurant?
Donner Party.
Yep.
How many was it? Was in Donner Party again?
I don't remember right now.
Like
4 or 5, I think.
Donner Party of 4.
There's a restaurant I used to frequent quite often.
If you don't hurry up, it's gonna be a party of 3.
As a kid.
My stomach is eating my backbone.
All right, Donner Party of 1.5. Let's just bring it up.
I got it. Someone is really missing the boat by not marketing Donner Party dumplings.
Oh.
I'll just bring everybody up. Yeah.
You're a cat.
I'm a cat.
You would make a great stir fry.
Apparently.
Would that be like a Donner Party like poo-poo platter?
I guess so. Christmas time on people jerky, just like Mom used to make. Ham sandwich walks into a bar, says, "Give me a beer." Bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here."
We got some bigotry and some food jokes right there. I'm kidding, Mark.
And one more. Hello. Hi, Joshua. What the fuck is that hat? I thought you were in Georgia, not Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Look, we are talking about the Donner Party, and I have to be prepared.
Hi, David.
Hi, David.
All right. So from this point forward, right after David, we are not getting to comments for a while.
Until you pay us.
Unless you pay us.
Okay, so the Donner Party set out in 1846 full of hope and optimism. But little did they know they were in for the ride of their lives, or should I say the ride of their afterlives?
The afterlives?
Because let me tell you, this story takes a dark and twisted turn.
Yeah.
As they journeyed through the Sierra Nevada mountains, they found themselves stranded in a snowy valley with little food and no way out. And that's when things started to get interesting.
Bitey. They're carnivores.
She's a carnivore. Don't let this face fool you. She's a carnivore.
Hey, shouldn't she be like on her meds? No, she's more free this way.
Look at her. Beautiful.
SLC Punk is one of the best.
So you see, the party's leader, George Donner, had a little secret. He was a bit of a cannibal. And as the days went by and the situation grew more dire, he began to eye his fellow travelers as potential snacks.
Bad.
I have a question. Was he truly a cannibal before this? Like, had he partaken of the human flesh?
I think,
as far as I know, no.
I think it was the Donner side of the family, because it was 2 families on here, but I do think the Donners themselves, or no, there was one group of the Donners that literally did not eat anybody, and they stayed they maintained their family unit right there, and they were the
Mhm.
ones who made it out like mentally better. Not better, but they didn't have as much PTSD as the others did.
Oh, I'm sure. It's like, look, we're gonna move over here. You guys have at it.
Pretty much.
I know what you guys are thinking. Cannibalism, that's not exactly the kind of pioneer spirit I was expecting. But trust me, folks, it gets worse. Much worse. You see, the Donner Party was made up of all sorts of folks, families, couples, even a few single ladies looking for a fresh start. And as they struggled to survive, they began to turn on each other. There were fist fights over food, and even a little bit of, shall we say, cannibalism light.
Cannibalism.
You know,
what exactly is cannibalism light?
Well, just a nibble,
like chewing your nails or something.
A nibble there to stay.
Not to jump the gun here though, and get to the. I can when they did get rescued, and it was on the last trip that they rescued people on the last, because it took several trips to get them out. They described the camp where all the bulk of the cannibalism happened as probably it was described as a gory death metal video, just bones and everything everywhere and blood everywhere.
Well, you know, we're getting there.
Oh yeah,
we're getting there. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, this is a true story? Yes, sirree, folks. The Donner Party really did happen. And it's kind of a cautionary tale about the dangers of pioneering, the importance of packing snacks, enough of them, and the darker side of human nature.
Oh. Make sure you leave the time of no later than the date that someone tells you to leave before you go to the Sierra Nevadas.
Yep.
Yep.
We actually experienced something similar.
Yeah.
Without having to eat people. We almost got stuck because we had no chains and we went slipping and sliding.
I want to say they were probably
terrifying.
I think they were like maybe at the most 2 days late leaving, and this all happened. And then on top of this, the bad map reading, thinking they could travel across the certain desert real fast, and it didn't go by fast.
No.
And you know, I can just I'm sure if you did a lot of deep research into this, I haven't read a book on the Donner Party, but it would have to be a lot like the Inuit. Is it the Inuit? The Eskimos up in Alaska?
The Inuit.
Inuit, yeah.
Inuit. With a lot of those expeditions, the British expeditions, to where they literally just had to watch these men go insane and eat each other because they didn't want to interact with the indigenous people. Yeah. And the indigenous people were like, you got seals all around you.
They're just sitting there ice fishing going, look at that crazy white man right there.
Pretty much. So I see this in my mind. I see Native Americans going, those white folks are nuts.
The fuck? Native Americans is looking at them going, the fuck is that? Is that guy eating someone else? You guys could literally use the antler.
Wendigo!
They're like, here's an antler. There, no, we can't use an antler with fishing twine. Stay away from us. So
okay, it deserved a change, wardrobe change. So, we mentioned before that it was made up of all sorts of folks, but did you know that they also were accompanied by a handful of ill-fated animals?
Well,
they actually did have a few cows, some chickens, even a horse or two.
They had oxen, they had which were leading the teams, and they had several wagons, like a lot of them. They had a full wagon train. So, yeah.
I think it's starting to sound like they just like the forbidden meat.
High fives!
And what did she say?
I have heard there are free samples of meth for anyone who tunes in comments. Hi, Adam. I just figured I'd have to, Okay. Comments. Done. From here. So, you see, the Donner Party had this great idea to eat the animals and stay alive, right?
The best idea in the world.
And by great idea, I mean terrible idea, because not only did it not solve their hunger, but they no longer had animals to ride
when they
Get them
got
out of there.
or get them out
well,
of there.
they were in such deep snow that even the ox, the horses, all of them couldn't go through it. It was soft snow, and they literally couldn't go through it. But by the time they were encamped there, those animals were so malnourished that when they did eat them, they got nothing from it.
That's
nothing.
Literally what I was about to say too.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a cow that's like on the brink of starvation? It's not exactly the tastiest thing in the world. And horses, some people tend to eat them, but
did they eat the horse cocks?
Probably. I mean, they had to eat everything.
I don't think you'd be picky at that point.
Well, here's the kicker. The Donner Party's cannibalism wasn't even the worst part of their journey. That honor goes to Donner Lake itself.
Well, it wasn't called Donner Lake at the time.
Yeah, it's now called now called Donner Lake.
It's now called Donner Lake.
The party's campsite was situated near a beautiful lake that would later be named Donner Lake. The lake was completely frozen over, and the party had no way of knowing that it was there.
Ooh. This is not going to end well.
So, as they struggled to survive, they began to eat the only thing that they could find. Each other.
Hey, Fwin.
Hi, Fwin. But the real twist, they were actually eating the bodies of their fellow travelers who had actually frozen to death in the lake.
So there were ice hole people fishing.
That actually didn't happen.
No, on the lake though.
They camped around the lake in the woods. They were nowhere near they were actually about 3 or 4 miles away from the lake.
Not the whole time.
Most of the time.
Look, I'm just reading a funny story, then we'll get into more details, okay?
Oh. Sorry.
You're like nitpicking.
It is true though.
Funny story. Yeah. So God damn it. Talk about chilling thought, right? I mean, who wouldn't enjoy a nice slice of frozen dead body after their afternoon tea? But wait, there's more. The Donner Party's cannibalism didn't even stop there. They got creative with it. They started making human jerky out of their dead friends and loved ones. I know, a little too much to handle, but hey, at least they made it to California, right? I mean, who needs a functioning digestive system when you've got a brand new life in the Golden State? So, okay, I just wanted to be funny. And let's
Truckee
get into
was the original name. I'm sorry.
It's still called Truckee.
Truckee Lake, Truckee Pass was the original name. Now it's Donner Lake, Donner Pass.
The location is still Truckee though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, so I see a couple new faces in here, but let's go into like real details, which is what Odd Mother has.
Yes.
I just want
so on a historical level, it actually is referred to as the Donner Reed Party, kind of like Donna Reed, but not. The Donner Reed Party. Your table is ready.
Reed Party.
So, like we had said before, in the summer of 1846, a group of pioneers set out on a journey to California, and they were truly seeking a better life and new opportunities. The Donner Reed Party, as they came to be known, was made up of 87 individuals, which did include a varying amounts of men, women, children, who at the time were brave enough to really go into the unknown. I mean, when you talk about the Oregon Trail and some of these pioneers, you had to be a certain type of person. Like, not only was cannibalism probably your least dangerous thing to be worried about, it wasn't for everybody. It was not for people that just didn't have the stamina to withstand not like your natural surroundings, because Mother Nature can be a bitch.
Mother Nature does not care about people in any way, shape, or form.
We're not really couldn't.
What was the line from Rick and Morty? The universe is does not care. It will eat you,
It
and
will chew you up and spit you out.
yeah, it's
Yep.
very true.
Yep. And of course, their journey would wind up taking a tragic turn, and the party would become known for one of the most infamous events in American history. Now, the Donner Reed Party was organized by George Donner and James F. Reed, two potential citizens of Springfield, Illinois. The party was made up of families from Illinois, Ohio, and Missouri who were seeking land and a better life in California, because a lot of this land was basically you come out there and settle it and work the land for a certain amount of time, and it's yours, which would be very, very interesting to a lot of people, especially if you were like part of the immigrant society that are looking to establish yourself in this at this time, this new land. So in April of 1846, the party set out from Independence, Missouri, with a wagon train of 200 oxen-drawn wagons, headed west towards California. The group faced many challenges along the way, including rough terrain, harsh weather, and a lack of food and supplies. They followed the California Trail, which is a well-established route that led to the West Coast. But they made several crucial mistakes that would ultimately lead to their downfall. Now, the tragic turn would come as the party journeyed through present-day Nevada. They encountered a series of setbacks. They were delayed by rainstorms, and their supplies were running low. In October of 1846, they reached the Sierra Nevada mountains, where they became snowbound in a harsh winter storm. The group was divided, with some members choosing to stay behind and wait for rescue, while others continued to go on, hoping to reach California. Now, the group that continued on became known as the Donner Party, and their fate is a harrowing tale of survival and cannibalism.
Harrowing cannibalism.
Harrowing
They
of
wish they had
survival
heroin.
and cannibalism.
They wish they had heroin at the time, because they wouldn't have
No,
killed-
harrowing.
Oh,
Harrowing. But you know, and that reminds me of that podcast I did, the law of the is it the law of the sea? I guess the mountains have a
Yes.
law too.
woods. Yeah, they definitely have
Yes.
snowbound
Yes.
woods. Definitely have a law, and it's cannibalism.
Have a law. You are screwed. So, trapped in the snow with little food or shelter, the group began to starve and resorted to cannibalism to survive. In the end, only 48 members of the party survived, and many of them were left with severe physical and emotional scars. You think?
So they went from 80 something. Well, how many was it? 80, 81?
Let's see, 87.
To 4.
So they literally cut their numbers in half by
Down to 48.
Yeah.
And see, I wonder too if they are because the 87 would have been all of them. The ones that decided to stay behind for rescue, and the ones that decided to move on to see if they could reach California. So I wonder if the 48 would include the ones that weren't in the cannibalism situation.
Maybe.
I think
The smarter group.
They did. Yeah, right. The ones were like, yeah, we'll just, we have leather and we have shoes, and we'll make that do right there.
And it looks really cold up there on top of that mountain that you guys are going to cross. I'm just going to stay here.
We'll stay here. They were the first ones rescued, I think. The ones who it was the Reeds, actually, I think. Not the Donners were the ones who were the Reeds were the ones that stayed together, I think, and did the right thing, even though the husband messed things up by getting them off track.
And that would make sense, because if you think of it, like if you looked at a phone book, how many Reeds do you see in comparison to Donners?
Quite a few.
Yep.
Quite a few. Definitely.
All right. So where was I? So the aftermath and the legacy. So the Donner Reed Party's journey is like we had said before, in all seriousness, it is a cautionary tale of the risks and challenges faced by pioneers in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
The party's, I'm sorry?
Oh, I said,
Oh. The party's tragic fate serves as a warning to future pioneers and helped to establish the importance of proper planning and preparation for such journeys. Now, today, the site of the Donner Party's encampment is a historical site and a popular tourist destination. The Donner Memorial State Park in California preserves the history of the party and provides a glimpse into the lives of the pioneers who settled in the American West. And I have several questions on that. How do they preserve this? I mean, I'm just asking.
Well,
is it
Like, do
kind
you
of
go
like
up there and the bones are still laying around?
they actually probably are, because a lot of it was in deep snow. And weren't we talking about how when they would oh no, we were watching that one channel I was telling you about, Outdoor Boys.
Right.
And the main guy on there, Luke, Nichols, I think is his name.
I have no clue what the last name is. I just know that they're super wholesome. They're like our polar opposites, but they're so rad.
We're not wholesome.
No. But a little bit of wholesome outdoorsiness.
So he was talking about how, like, when they had their campfires, because what they do in the snow, if you need to keep warm, you got to clear out the snow so many feet around, build a fire, huge fire, keep it going, get the ground dry, and then bury the coals, and then you can sleep on top of that, and it'll keep you warm, because the ground will be like 70 degrees when it's above the ground it's minus 20. But
they did that in Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah,
him and the Grizzly Adams guy.
Yeah, I do remember that. So they did. So he was saying that when they during the Donner Party, when the snow was so deep and they had the fires going for so long that they had to build stairs through the snow to get down to the bottom to stay warm. So that means it was about 15 or 20 feet of snow, just a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also too one of the cold. I think it was probably still on record to be the coldest winter to ever happen in the Sierra Nevadas. It was freezing, like colder than the Arctic Circle.
Wow. I would say Fortuna was not in their favor.
No.
I gotta say, it's really interesting that you can build something out of snow and set a fire in it and stay warm.
Right, when they build igloos.
Yeah.
And it's so cold that even though there's a fire in there, that it's still, with the heat rising, that it's still freezing the snow.
Well, it glazes everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It glazes everything. So.
Oh yeah.
But I still, I mean, there was indigenous people that lived in these areas, and I just have this logical feeling.
Well,
they were like, look at these idiots. What are they doing? They will never survive. But they have been so mean to us. I'll be damned if we're going to help them.
Let me be the nitpicking Nelly. I'm sorry, but the indigenous people of that area were smart enough to, when the snow fell, they moved down into the valley where it was warmer.
With the reeds.
Yes, with the reeds.
Not the Donnas. I still can't get past Donna Reed right now. Donna.
I know. So to kind of give you a list of how everything unfolded. And so the Donner Party, like we said, resorted to cannibalism due to starvation and desperation, as they were stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountains during that harsh winter, with limited supplies. There was some detailed information on the victims and the circumstances that led to the cannibalism. So, like we had said, the Donner Party was divided into two groups. It was the Forlorn Hope group and then the main party. The Forlorn Hope was a group of 15 people who volunteered to go ahead and prepare the way for the rest of the party. They left the main camp on October 22nd of 1846 and were supposed to meet up with the main party at Truckee Lake, which is the Donner Lake that you were talking about. However, they became snowbound in the mountains and were unable to reach the lake. Now, the main party, which included the majority of the Donner Party members, left Independence, Missouri on April 15th of 1846, and like I said, followed the California Trail. Let's see. The main party, they really started to really run out of food on January 15th of 1887. So they were up there for a while. What, October to here we are on this timeline, January 15th. So that would be 4 months.
They
3 months.
When you're snowed in the Sierra Nevadas, you're there until it's done. You cannot get out. This is the reason why when you do the Pacific Coast Trail, you have to start just like the Donner Party. You have to start at a certain time. Otherwise, when you get to the high Sierras, you will be stuck there and you're not going to make it.
Well, and you know that is the question I have with that, because if you'll look into the Pacific Crest Trail,
I'm sorry.
I know I do the same thing, Coast Trail, but it's the Crest Trail. You have to thank God the Appalachian doesn't require an overall permit. Like, you do have to get permits to hike through certain national parks like Smoky Mountains and things like that. Just because they want to know if you sign in and you don't sign out, they need to send a search party. But people don't get to pick, from what I understand, with the PCT.
They
are told when they can start.
Yeah,
you have to start beforehand, and I don't even think there's they recommend that you let people know, but I think even to this day, unlike the Appalachian Trail, you can just go on it. Like, you can just start.
Okay, you can.
You can just start. Yes. They recommend when you're going through the trail, you have specific points to meet by certain times. And when you get there, it's a huge camp, and you can have your supplies shipped in. You can have all this other stuff, new boots shipped in. You can plan it all out. So that way you can make it. But if you, like I said, if you don't start before a certain time, and especially if you haven't told anybody that you're up there, you're just lost. You're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Appalachian Trail is somewhat similar, but you really have more like, you will have some hostels that are just kind of out in the middle of nowhere that is for the hikers. But
you said hostels, and I'm thinking
hostiles.
Well, there was one hostel I was reading about that changed the name because they were like, why do we call ourselves a hostel? We don't want to be hostile to anybody, you know?
I just picture them coming up to the camp and they're like, why do I hear a banjo? No, I don't have a pretty mouth, sir. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Well, you know, and that's what I thought. That was one of the things I was super worried about with the Appalachian Trail, because honestly, I would love for me and Piper to do it. I would absolutely love for us to do it. But you have got to, under no uncertain terms, do 10 miles a day.
Yep.
If not more. And you have to start really no later than June, unless you're going to do one of those speed walkthroughs. And those things are for like people that have really been practicing this stuff.
Yeah. People who know it, and they know exactly the path they're taking, everything. The Pacific Coast Trail, though, it actually ends past the Pacific Crest. I'm sorry. It ends past the, I want to say the Cascading Mountains. It ends in Washington.
Yeah, into Canada, I do believe. It starts very close to Mexico, if I'm not mistaken.
There's some really good metal that comes out of there too.
Oh yeah, the Cascadian black metal scene is amazing.
So good.
It starts in San Diego, the desert just outside of San Diego. So I want to say like near Arizona, Yuma, that area. And that's where the Sierra Nevadas really start. You start off in the desert, and all of a sudden it starts going up, and as you're walking the trail.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, one of my upcoming feeds is going to be about the Pacific Crest Trail. Because there is some high strangeness with that place. Like very Appalachian, you know, everybody always says like the cryptids and the haints and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe. But the Pacific Crest Trail, there's some weird, like you go in there and you never come out and nobody knows what happened to you.
It's, you know what's different about it? I think because we were talking about it, that, you know, where you have the Appalachians and it's, you know, it's all haints and boogers and stuff like that. And then you have over here in the Sierra Nevadas, you're like in the land of the gods. And if you make it mad, you're just gone.
You're just gone. You cease to exist.
I think it's more along the lines of it's silent
but
versus
deadly.
It's silent but deadly, right? No, you basically the things that are in the Sierra Nevadas don't make sound. You're just gone. Whereas the things in the Appalachians, they make sounds and let people know they're there, so it scares the shit out of the people and they don't come back. But the things in the Sierra Nevadas are just hungry. They're like, no, we want you guys to come back.
Yeah, we don't want you to run away from us. We just want to come over there and gobble you up.
They don't scare us off and they don't leave a trace.
The Appalachians want you to leave them alone, but the Sierra Nevadas are like, nope, come in.
They'll welcome you and eat you alive.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, all right. Do we want to go to some comments real quick, and then I can get into a little bit more of this, and we can go through the actual victims, I guess you would say, or maybe survivors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess we can go back to, hey, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Sorry, it took me so long to get to these, but again, hey, John L.
Oh shit, Frank didn't see there. Yeah, I'm right in the back.
Pizza's here. Dysentery was fatal.
Yeah.
Don't eat me, I'm gamey, says Kisa.
Yeah, right.
Talk about bite me.
You didn't say that to the Donner Party.
Yeah. Someone was eating ass, the animal and the human body part. What happened to Bob? Bob, we ate him. Ate some tasty jerky.
What about Bob?
See, and that's where I go back to that whole, like, where they preserve the historical site. Like, do they have little signs that said, like, Bob's ankle bone found here?
No,
you know,
bite marks on the
Jim's femur over there.
Would you possibly be digging around and you just dig up a jar of preserves and it's just
Bob preserves?
It's Bob's Mountain Oysters.
Because I'm thinking that long pork is just like regular pork, and you just got to salt it properly. And you have salted long pork.
Long pork.
I would like the sweet and sour long pork.
Wonder if they boiled the shoe leather. Yes, they did actually.
They did. And like I said, I think it's the Reeds that did that, and they ended up not eating people, I think. Don't quote me.
I'm not sure if I would have just been like, Bob's looking mighty tasty over there. This shoe
I'm sitting here eating my shoe, and he looks awfully good.
So plump.
Well,
I wonder if you woke up and like felt somebody like nibbling on you.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the. I think that's what one of the was it a kid? I think.
Oh God.
That they woke up and one of the kids was nibbling on their feet.
You see, that's when a kid would get yeeted right out the door.
That's kind of what I was talking about. What I was talking about, like they tried a little bit of
passive aggressive cannibalism.
Cannibalism light at first.
The kids themselves, because they're kids and
kids are feral.
Legit. See, they don't have
that takes them into the realm of the black-eyed children and like creepy kids. I love kids, but I can't do creepy kids. They get yeeted.
They were saying that the kids actually were the ones that legit went feral first, and they were out there.
Frank should be in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
On Jeopardy. Hopefully not. You're not in jeopardy. Now I'm thinking about the game Oregon Trail. Raven said. And then I responded about having named most of my characters Fart. And it would be like, Fart has dysentery. And I was giggling because, Fart was pooping.
Oh my God. Can I bring up this one? This was hilarious.
Which one? This is Steve's femur. There are many like it, but this one is Steve's. By the way, Kisa put squeal like a pig, boy. And then her comment got taken down. It's actually not over on Facebook. I looked for it, but it stayed here.
Yeah, once it comes to StreamYard, we can see all of it. And it stays up. And we put it right on there on Facebook.
John Bob's femur.
Pretty much.
Frank Clevenger's the most interesting person in the world.
I think so.
He's gnawing on my leg.
Telling you eating creepy kids.
Mr. Giggles is back. He stole Al's car.
Awesome.
He'll be back up here on Wednesday.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, I had to miss it last night. I had to work late. Oh.
No worries. There is hashtag replay.
There is.
Yes,
and
there
we're
is.
on Audible.
And we're on Audible, guys.
iTunes too, I think. Yes.
Oh yeah. We didn't tell folks that, did we?
No.
No.
I'm gonna sneak away.
Guys, we are now on Audible. You can listen to your audiobooks and us. And if you go through our links through our website to get a free membership, the free 30-day membership, you'll be supporting us too. Yep.
Just the same way the name's coming up right there. You, as in the letter U, can't sit with us. Just type it in, comes right up on Audible. And follow, give us 5 stars, please.
Please.
Howdy, who's the Russian?
I am ready for our expedition with the Donner Party.
Tasty.
Tasty.
I will be right back. You guys continue.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you want to get back into this while she takes her break?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and start.
Okay.
Where do you left off?
So as the winter of 1846 and 1847 set in, the Donner Party found themselves stranded in the mountains, like we had talked about, with limited food and no means of escape. The forlorn group who were stuck in the mountains were the first resort to cannibalism. They ate the bodies of their deceased members, including a woman named Elizabeth Donner, who died during childbirth, which is terrifying because it sounds like they had veal.
I just had one of the worst.
Oh, that's a really that would lead into one of those dead baby jokes.
Silver platter. Just coming out and soup's ready, guys.
No soup for you. So the main party also ran out of food, and on January 15th of 1847, they voted to eat the flesh of their dead oxen. However, this was not enough to sustain them, as Akia had said earlier, and they soon resorted to the long pork menu.
The cannibalism? Did they passive aggressively kill people and stuff like that, and cut them in half?
They went with the alternate menu.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
You know how some restaurants have that.
You know you're gonna dull your knife on the bones and the cartilage, right? If you just keep doing that. Well, I wouldn't do it that way.
No on it.
It's just about time. This is a friendly cannibalism.
So they did. They ate the bodies of their deceased members, including children and infants.
They had a rule, I think, that they didn't. Most of them didn't kill anybody. There was a few, like I said, when they came back, they suspected that they did resort to murder, and there was a couple people who just liked it. But the vast majority of them, they wouldn't eat anybody until that person died. They wouldn't.
And I can't remember where I'd heard about it, but there were some conflicting stories about how one member died, and the fact that they do honestly believe that they were murdered.
Yeah, they
just got so out of their heads that they,
I think it was his tent they went in, and it was pretty much Ed Gein's house. He had skulls that they think that he was drinking out of and stuff, water out of and stuff like that.
Right. Well, and I don't know. I mean, if they were eating like the brains and things like that, and they were getting that, was it kookaroo? I don't know how long it takes to get that.
I know, we got to ask Hillary Clinton about that. How long does it take to get for you to go wacky, Ms. Clinton?
Go wacky
after you eat people.
To get mad human disease. All right. So the cannibalism did continue for several weeks, with some members eating the flesh of their loved ones, like we said. Now, one member, Patrick Breen, kept a diary that recorded the events of the winter. In his diary, he wrote about eating the flesh of his dead child, saying, "I have been forced to eat the flesh of my own child to save my own life." That would be nightmarish.
I was listening to last podcast on Left, and they're doing the one where they crashed in the Andes, the rugby team, where they based the movie Alive off on, and Ethan Hawke was in it. They made it a point when they got to that, when they were pushed to the extent to where they had to commit acts of cannibalism, that they would not eat their loved ones. They tried their hardest, because that one really messes with your head, because it's one thing to eat a friend who had died, because
a stranger or a friend,
but when one of their mothers was with them on that, and he absolutely refused to eat her until he absolutely had no choice, and it was only bits and pieces like off the leg and stuff like that. It wasn't. It really messed him up to do that.
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, in all seriousness, with no gallows humor, which is very hard for me. On a serious level,
hard for me.
Like, you would have to, if you resorted to cannibalism, you'd have to have some like cannibalism rules. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to have some rules. And I remember watching that movie, because I think that there was, if I'm not mistaken, there was a made-for-TV movie that came out late 70s or sometime during the 80s. I remember it gave me nightmares, and it was about that, or something similar to that.
Yeah.
And the way that it played out is, in the end, I mean, you cannot say what a person will do. You cannot say what you would do in certain situations, but they were treated as a pariah. Like, they had no choice. I mean, they were up on the top of a mountain. Nobody knew where they were. And you do what you've got to do, you know, and I don't know. You would have to have some rules to keep from going completely insane.
You're gonna go insane afterward, regardless.
Oh yeah, you will, but that's a whole different level of insanity. Because that rule of threes is true. I mean, you can go 3 hours without shelter.
Shelter,
No,
and then
3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter,
3
days without water,
and then 3 weeks without food.
Yeah.
And on that 4th week, you will start doing the passive cannibalism. You'll start nibbling on people. We start looking real good.
I know we get started here when we get into deeper into the notes. They were quite literally chasing mice viciously through their little burrows, through the snow, everything, and just I want to say
biting their heads off.
One of the kids just ate it whole, just swallowed it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But when we're pushed to that extent, we'll all do it. That's when the lizard brain kicks in, big time.
Yeah, because I mean, I know that all of us here understand the hangry. You know, like when you are so hungry that is all you are just like hyper focused on it. I've got to get something to eat. I mean, could you imagine that being like times 3.5 weeks?
You know what staves that off? Wassail, and Hikal brought it for us.
Nibbling on the toes of your partner.
I have my no drama llama, by the way.
Non-alcoholic tonight, because I was like, I can't do alcohol right now. I just can't.
Wassail.
I tried a new recipe, if we want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I got a little bit lazy, and I found already sugared
long pork,
orange, it's and sweet mincemeat pie.
Lemon. Well, I got already sugared orange and lemon like chunks, and I used Bing cherries this time. So cranberry,
cherry,
apple, cherry, orange, lemon,
ooh, like a spiced
cinnamon.
Cherry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bomb.
I did cinnamon, allspice, star anise, and clove.
You know, now that I'm having this recipe you have right now is really, really good, and probably would be even better with
alcohol,
liquor in it, like whiskey or something.
I usually put whiskey and let it burn off.
This would steep well with that, and that would add that extra taste to it.
Yeah.
You know,
that sounds delicious.
You just got to marinate it. You know, marinate your long pork.
Yeah, marinate your long pork.
star anise, all that stuff. You just put it right in there. Some nutmeg.
I did not use nutmeg, although I love a nutmeg.
Really?
What?
Would you like a nutmeg?
I said I love nutmeg.
Sorry.
All right, let's get on to the victim.
Really good. I'm sorry. Your wassail was really good.
All right, we talked about Elizabeth Donner, who died during childbirth and was eaten by the Forlorn Hope group.
Oh, they got
a child named Tamazine Donner, who died of starvation, was eaten by the main party. A man named James F. Reed, so there's a Reed. Now, he died of hypothermia and was eaten by the main party. Then you had Patrick Dolan, who died of starvation and was eaten by the main party.
They're just waiting for him to drop. They're like, someone just all.
You hear the Jeopardy music in the background.
Just someone coughs. And they're like, what? Oh, no,
I'm just resting my eyes. I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet.
It just cleared my
Don't
throat.
worry, he will be soon.
I was talking so much.
I feel happy.
Were there any like one-legged Donner party members that made it out? They're like, you know what?
Single ladies are the single ladies.
They figured that I was so good at what I was doing. They only ate from my shin down.
I'm looking in my notes, but no, I don't see anybody like coming out, going in with 2 legs, coming out with 1.
Yeah, this needs whiskey.
Someone comes out with a sign on him saying "Some pig." Charlotte from Charlotte's Way with a butcher's apron on.
That's some pig.
I had 50 babies.
We washed him down with buttermilk to make him all nice and shiny.
Ooh, buttermilk chicken is what I need. Buttermilk. Do you think they did that? They just had buttermilk.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I wonder if you could get like okay, this is something we've got to look up. Matter of fact, I've got to look it up right now. Hold up.
What are we looking for?
The Donner Party cookbook.
Oh, there's got to be. I think there is.
There's got to be one.
So one of the restaurants that I started saying this earlier and totally like squirrel. One of the restaurants I used to frequent when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
A chef came out because we were like, man, this soup's really good. And the waitress was like, oh, do you want to talk to the chef? And we're like, yeah, sure. Why not? He comes out wearing a Donner Party chef shirt.
No.
Yes.
I was loving it. I was laughing so hard.
Did he say too soon yet? Is it too soon for this?
And I was like, okay, where did you get that shirt? He's like, where do you think I got it? Like, seriously. I went there, I visited, they have them. I was like, oh.
So if we were to go like to the Donner place, they do have them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or at least they did. In the age of everyone's too sensitive.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like maybe 20 years ago or more.
Yeah, this is California.
Oh my gosh, so it is. Now this was different. So you look it up, and on Amazon they have Donner Party Cookbook, a guide to survival on the Hastings Cutoff.
Oh.
It is a cookbook. It contains 36 19th century recipes that might have been used by the people of the Donner Party while on the trail to California.
All just tree bark recipes.
All you do is have to substitute Tim.
They're all like, wait.
3 pounds of Tim.
They're all, wait, this book has nothing but tree bark? Can we just substitute people for the tree bark? Could we? Yeah, we could just do that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, so I would assume, I tell you what, don't even get me started on the sensibilities of folks these days. But you think that there would be a good satirical Donner Party cookbook? No.
Yeah,
the only one I can find is a guide to survival on the Hastings Cutoff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I found a few.
Did you find some? They're probably
But
by
I'm not
independent
sure.
sellers.
I don't think it's anything. There's not too many funny ones, which is what we're looking for.
I typed in funny
Mhm.
this time. I did. I typed in funny.
These all look serious, except for the one right there, the third from the right.
This one? Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's just, the 70s. They were a time of silliness.
They were a time of not caring, which is how it should be now. Let's just go ahead and put it out and see where the cards fall.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all guides to survival and shit.
Yeah.
That's not what we
Sure.
want. We want a good laugh.
I mean,
Come
if
on.
anything, just write a cookbook that says don't turn out like the Donner Party.
Yeah, right?
Donner Party cookbook. Don't leave after May. You have to leave before May.
Don't make stupid life decisions.
I just found a good picture, though. It's a reindeer looking at an invitation. It says, "You're invited to join the Donner Party. Cool time. All you can eat until the guests are gone." And Donner never figured out why no one came to his party.
I'm good. I'll stay home.
Guys, can you
All right,
believe
so-
an hour has almost passed?
I know,
Like
so-
we just started 5 minutes ago.
I needed wassail. That's all I know.
I know. So just to get back to this and finish this up. So it is worth noting that cannibalism at the Donner Party was not unique to this type of event. During the California Gold Rush, there were several instances of cannibalism among other groups of pioneers who were stranded in the wilderness with limited supplies. However, the Donner Party cannibalism is one of the most well-known and well-documented cases of cannibalism in American history. The Donner Party story is indeed a fascinating and tragic one, and it is important to remember the sacrifices and struggles of the pioneers who settled in the American West. Because, like I said, not just everybody could be a pioneer. You just wouldn't make it. I mean, it was literally like playing the Oregon Trail. You have died.
You got a hangnail. You're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. You died of, what was it? Cholera.
Dysentery.
Dysentery.
I understood the typhoid one, but I was like, really? People are dying from pooping? That sucks.
Dehydration.
Well, typhoid is contagious. So is cholera. It can be contagious too.
What?
I was in like elementary school, and that was the fun day in computer class was Oregon Trail.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the day everybody got typhoid was the fun day.
Okay, I'm not that old.
You're bringing up the other parties that did this, and I completely forgot about it until you said that. Yeah, Packard, Alfred Packard, which is if you go and see Cannibal the Musical.
The sky is blue and all the trees are green.
Like it's a real story. That one really happened too.
Yeah.
I think right around or right after the Donner Party. I think
It was
Or
around the same time.
Yeah.
But
And it was in Colorado.
well, he was trying to get over.
Well,
to
and then you get
California,
into the bloody benders that were pretty much off the technical Oregon Trail. That was during the mass immigration from the East Coast to the West Coast for land.
Yeah, but the bloody benders didn't care. They legit were killing people and taking them off to their huts and stuff like that. And that was like middle of summer too when they were doing that.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey guys, you got to do this in
Use
the
them as
summertime."
fertilizer for the apple trees.
Right?
On a total side note, like squirrel moment, talking about Cannibal the Musical.
Uh-huh.
If you're watching South Park and at the very end when they have the Braniff airplane, you'll hear do 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 do. That's the song from Cannibal the Musical.
Oh my God.
You know what I want to know? How was he tap dancing in the snow? That's what you want to know? How was he tap dancing in the snow? I'm gonna fucking kill you.
The more you know.
It's such a good movie, man.
I love that. I love that movie so much.
So, but we will do a blog post on this and list you guys. If you guys are interested in this topic, list some recommended readings and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now my brain's going, let's build a snowman. We can name him Bob, or we can
name him Bob, or we can name him Beowulf.
Or we could just name him Hangry.
Oh my gosh, my glasses are fogging up.
So yeah, that's all I got.
With that, we bid you adieu, or should we
Wait.
say?
Yes. Well, I was gonna say, we did get something new, and we were pretty much like threatened to share it before we go. Yeah. So before we say adieu.
Wait, that's all the notes? We're done?
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow, we got by fast on this one.
Yeah.
What are we gonna share? What?
Oh, I literally had all the other notes from Wikipedia up and everything like that. I thought we were gonna go for like 2 hours,
No,
but
what were we going to share?
Oh, this right here. This right here. Do you want me to press it? Do you want me to press the shiny red button? Okay, we'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day here in Pickwich, Ohio, with blue skies and mild temperatures. Pickwich is surrounded by the majestic Madness Mountains, eternal national forest wilderness areas, and some of Pickwich, Ohio's most unique and unusual natural surroundings, making it the perfectly isolated outdoor recreation destination. Come experience Pickwich, whether on land, in the water, or up in the air. We have more than 300 trails for hiking and mountain biking. Summer is here, so look to the Ushapurha Pines Recreation Area to cool off from a swim in the brisk waters of Spire Lake to the hot sulfur springs at Nug Swamp. Or take a relaxing day in a kayak and go down the lazy Pickwich River. Take a backcountry hike and experience a bird's eye view of all that the Pickwich area has to offer, as well as the natural beauty that surrounds you from the lookout of Insanity Peak. Or get an adrenaline rush from one of our exploration or spelunking tours at Carcosa Caverns. The Carcosa Caverns are not to be mistaken from the Forbidden Caves. Exploration of the Forbidden Caves is strictly forbidden. But Pickwich is so much more than an outdoor playground. You can also enjoy unique, delicious meals at our many fine restaurants focusing on locally sourced products, or sip a glass of wine made right here. In Pickwich Calamity Valley, take a pottery class at the Pickwich Miskatonic Academy, Arts Center, or a healing session by one of our spiritual professional practitioners from the Church of Starry Wisdom. In the evenings, you can check out our Star-Studded Skies. Pickwich is a certified void sky community of which there are less than 10 in the entire world. Be mindful, however, to the Pickwich Community Nightly Curfew. After-hours activities are to be confined to designated areas only. Any infractions of this policy are subject to assimilation. Here in Pickwich, we love our visitors and can't wait to welcome you to our community. We look forward to you becoming an important part in our family. The Pickwich community is the perfect place to make life-altering connections and make new friends. You too can take part in upholding our traditions and experiencing live events, such as the 111th Annual Illuminated Film Festival or the annual Pickwich Spring Festival and Bonfire, which is at the heart of our cultural experience. Our community understands the importance of seeking reconnection and assimilation that comes from being a part of nature and our natural surroundings. Pickwich, Ohio is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, not to mention having the most rare and unique flora and fauna and wildlife on this plane of existence. Nevertheless, the focus is not solely on superficial beauty, but rather on the emotional impact of that beauty. We hold a deep appreciation for Pickwich and are confident that you will as well. However, we kindly request that you take the Pickwich Cares pledge and acquaint yourself with our 6 Leave No Trace principles promoting responsible recreation. It's not just an idea, it's a promise. Our 6 Leave No Trace principles are about a spirit of personal engagement with wildlife and wild places that recognize and respect how we are all connected. No one ever intends to love something to death, but we do. To learn more or plan your next trip, go to pickwitchohio.com for more information. From the Pickwitch, Ohio Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau, we thank you, and we look forward to having you soon.
You know,
What was that rock?
I don't know. I didn't know they had so many
I'm scared.
guys, for the audio,
waves.
for the audio side of things, the Pickwitch, I don't know. It's where our home office is, and the community center, is that what it is, or what are they called again?
That was sent to me from the tourist division. So I don't know, and I was pretty much told on no uncertain terms that we needed to share it.
Share it,
yeah,
or your rent goes up.
Feel free to contact the Pickwitch Visitor Center at 513-278-7701.
Yes.
Leave a message.
Yes, and we're still trying to figure out how, and we've been there. It's weird, but we don't know how they have oceans, but they do.
I don't know how they have a lot of stuff.
In Ohio, it's kind of weird.
Yes.
But only in Pickwitch.
Oh.
Your unique travel destination.
Yes.
Watch out, rabid wombats.
Oh, didn't they say something that they might have with YouTube up?
Yes. I did see they posted that today, so it looks like they do have a YouTube now, guys. So
yes,
go check them out. Subscribe,
please,
because they may threaten us.
How do they have mountains?
I don't know.
Oh. So,
or hot sulfur swamp.
Hot sulfur swamp.
That
just seems stinky.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Like one of those hot, wet farts.
Yeah. Yep.
And so
Sounds are going to be really stuck in the mud there. I'll tell you that right now, and possibly heading to another dimension.
Fog sweater.
Never been there, bumpus hell.
Yep.
We will talk about that place eventually.
Oh yeah.
So, with that, we bid you adieu, or should we say, bon appetit?
Bon appetit.
Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay sane, keep laughing, even if you have to eat your way through life's challenges.
Oh yeah.
Happy trails.
Nom.
Oh, wait, one more time. One more thing. You guys, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on Audible. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on actually all the platforms, even Google Podcasts, which is, I think it's becoming YouTube podcast soon or next year. But you can find us on all that by typing our name out. You, the letter U, can't sit with us. And yeah, this was our Christmas special. We just did this to have a fun night before we take off.
Tomorrow night,
yes. Oh, we're reading. Yep.
Tomorrow night, we are reading the submitted ghost stories for our Christmas special or Yuletide special.
Yep.
And that'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
We have some cool.
And that will be our last official stream for this year, I do believe, won't it?
Yep. For this show, tonight is our last stream for this season, and You Can't Sit With Us will be back the first week of February.
Yeah.
And
we do have
special stuff.
One more chit chat this year.
Okay.
And then that will finish that out too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Christmas, guys. It's our break, and we have
Equipment.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas, shitters full.
Bye.
I don't know, set the world